Hello again. Hopefully, my audio is better than last night as we discuss episode 7 of Love Island, season 7. Another not so riveting episode, but there is stuff to talk about, and I will begin with Ace since that is my thumbnail for the video. Ace has been a lot this season, and I don't necessarily know how to take him. But when Amaya, if that's her name, if I remember correctly, because she's still new enough for me to try and remember her name. If that's her name, and she's the one that called him trying to be a player in this house, then she was quite correct. That is the way he comes across. But this whole boundary issue today, after choosing Amaya, it's just. I want to try and psychoanalyze him, but I don't know if I care enough because he's been pretty damn annoying and he's been doing nothing but playing games this whole time. Now, I did think Austin's assessment of him was one of the better assessments we've seen thus far because Austin was upset when once again Shelley was pulled aside to have a chat with Ace, and Austin basically called out Ace for wanting to be chased. And yeah, that seems to be maybe what he wants from the women. He wants to be chased. But the truth is, Ace has just never been in a relationship. I'm convinced of that. He's 22 years old. He's probably always been used to situationships and just maybe one night stands, casual sex. He does not strike me as someone that's ever been in a relationship. I can't remember if he is one that said he got out of a relationship. There was a few early on that were saying they were out of relationships, but I don't believe that he is. And his boundary issues don't make me think that either. I just think that he likes to play nonchalant to get a woman, and he's used to that working for some fling, some casual sex, but he has no idea how to approach a relationship in this house. And him getting upset with Amaya for calling him babe just because she called her ex babe, it was I don't know if that was manipulation, some sort of way to piss Amaya off, but why did he pick Amaya in the first place? Ace is just all about games. That is what it comes down to. And if Shelley is left to be with him, it's going to be bad news for Shelley. I just can't see Ace winning this game unless somehow, in the span of a month and a half, Shelley can teach Ace how to be in a relationship. I just don't see that happening. So, yeah. Ace had continued to be a lot in this episode. I thought he was wrong with Shelley with his manipulation tactics. With Maya with the manipulation tactics there. Her getting upset all the time with him. I would be frustrated too because he's just playing games. There's just no real substance to the guy. So I don't blame her for getting upset. And she's not my favorite. In last night's video, I was talking about how annoying her laugh is because it is. But she wasn't doing a whole lot of laughing in this episode because she had to deal with young, immature Ace. So good luck to Shelley if that's who she ends up with. I'm glad that Shelley stood her ground with him too, though, saying that she's just being herself. She's not going to be trying to check all the boxes to try and be with Ace. So yeah, the only thing I liked about Ace in this episode was him questioning how real Jeremiah and Huda are about their thing. You know, they're just so connected early on, less than a week, talking about moving in together. It's ridiculous. Some of the women, mostly Olandria, was questioning Jeremiah and if he love bombed Huda to begin the season. And I don't really know exactly what constitutes love bombing, to be honest. So I don't agree with that assessment. I think that what happened was, from what I saw and from a guy's perspective, that Jeremiah was super attracted to Huda and he wanted to make it known that that was the woman that he was most attracted to. So when he did the whole kiss on the cheek thing to the girl that got kicked out, I think that was him showing that, yeah, you are the one I'm attracted to and you're the one I want to couple up with first. I think Huda was impressed by that, but I'm sorry, she's the crazy one in this scenario. Like, I do believe that he was super attracted to her at first and still is. Do I believe that he's as into her as she's into him? No, but that's not because he's not into her. It's because she's crazy. That's what it is. Again, today, I don't even remember what happened, but they started bickering again when he said something that she took it as, oh, there could be another option in here for him. So Ace calling out that if Jeremiah's type comes into the house, it's going to cause trouble. I expect a lot of drama out of this coupling because Huda is crazy. So when that does happen, the season could kick off from that point forward. So I hope the producers can finally do something right this season and bring in Jeremiah's type. Someone that looks very close to Huda should be brought in for Jeremiah to maybe have to deal with, because I want to see Huda get psycho, because something has to kick off this season more than just Ace playing games. Nick was in trouble today when Olandria does a lot of talking. I think she's a Gemini, but I could be wrong about that. So it makes sense if she is. She's been doing a lot of talking. She basically threw Nick under the bus, telling Cierra that he was doing some kissing with Belle, and that's why the choice was so hard between Cierra and Belle. Cierra didn't know that he was doing all this kissing with Belle before the recoupling, and this was her first time learning about this, and she was upset that Nick never told her or kind of acted like he didn't know why Belle was feeling the way she was. So Nick was stupid for that. I defended him yesterday, and today I will say that, he's out of a love triangle, but she's now in one because that pimple has taken a life of its own. Nick's pimple continues to be out of control, and as somebody that still gets pimpled at my old ass age, I understand the pain. The stress pimples have been coming in for Nick, but he was in the wrong today. So he deserves Cierra pushing back at that. But I still do like them. Charlie and Hannah are someone in my comments said they like Hannah. I said yesterday that she's boring. To me, after an episode and a half yesterday, I just can't be invested in Hannah. And today, she didn't get a lot of screen time either. So it's really hard for me to invest in Hannah right now. However, looking at the polls on the app, Hannah and Charlie have their fans. They seem to be popular. I'm still questioning it, mostly because they're boring. But the truth is, the way the guys are acting, Charlie's like one of the only likable guys right now. So I kind of understand the popularity. I think the popularity is coming because Hannah's not bad. She's still boring to me, though. I'm sorry. But of all the guys, Charlie's one of the only likable ones. I think Taylor's likable too, but Taylor and Olandria are having these issues of being able to get intimate. It seems as though Taylor's not attracted to Olandria, which is honestly surprising to me, because if not, I don't really understand what Taylor is attracted to. I think that's a Taylor problem. But Olandria is having a hard time getting intimacy started in that relationship too. They did have their first peck, their first kiss today after a challenge. So good for them there, I guess. But I do think Taylor is at least likable. I still like Nick. Despite him being the one to have to choose yesterday, I think Nick is entertaining enough. And I think he made the right choice with Cierra. I stand by that. He did make the right choice with choosing Cierra over Belle. They had more chemistry and I think more things in common. So Nick was getting hate for that yesterday. He shouldn't be hated. But the rest of the guys do suck, especially Ace. And I don't like the Jeremiah and Huda growing toxic relationship. And Austin, he hasn't had much chemistry with any woman. I do think his best shot is with Amaya, but right now she's coupled up with Ace because Ace plays games, and he wants to try and make Shelley chase him, and I'm over it. So that whole little quadrangle, they'll probably switch at some point. Shelley will end up with a Ace, poor Shelley, and Austin will end up with Amaya, poor both of them because they're both annoying in their own way. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today's episode. I think there's an episode tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time to talk about it. But we'll see whenever I can talk about this show. Again,